Hey everyone, today I'm bringing you a short video about propaganda techniques. This came out 8 years ago. Russia was not included in their little list of authoritarian governments, so add that, keep that in mind when you're watching this. I also want you to be aware of the fact that this was produced by Al Jazeera Network, which I don't recommend as your primary news source, but this is a great bit. The other sorry, I couldn't think of the word. The other disclaimer that I would say is these are based on philosophical ideas that were published in the 1980s. One of the co-publishers was Noam Chomsky. If you know his position, what he said about Russia and Ukraine, it's awful, and I do not endorse this person. But when it comes to this philosophical idea regarding propaganda that was published in 1988. It is just spot on, and it's only gotten worse, so I want you to see it anyway. So have an open mind and enjoy. I'll take us out.
Beep, beep, beep.
Propaganda. Many use the word when talking about countries like North Korea, Kazakhstan, Iran. Countries viewed as authoritarian through the lens of the Western media. Press freedom, freedom of thought. People use those terms when talking about countries like the United States, France, Australia, democracies. In 1988, Noam Chomsky co-authored a book with Edward Herman called Manufacturing Consent. It blasted apart the notion that media acts as a check on political power, that media inform the public, serve the public, so that we can better engage in the political process. In fact, media manufacture our consent. They tell us what those in power need them to tell us so we can fall in line. Democracy is staged with the help of media that work as propaganda machines. Media operate through 5 filters. The first has to do with ownership. Mass media firms are big corporations. Often they're part of even bigger conglomerates. Their endgame, profit. And so it's in their interests to push for whatever guarantees that profit. Critical journalism takes second place to the needs and interests of the corporation. The second filter exposes the real role of advertising. Media costs a lot more than consumers will ever pay. So who fills the gap? Advertisers. And what are the advertisers paying for? Audiences. And so it isn't so much that the media are selling you a product, their output. They're also selling advertisers a product, you. How does the establishment manage the media? That's the third filter. Journalism cannot be a check on power because the very system encourages complicity. Governments, corporations, big institutions know how to play the media game. They know how to influence the news narrative. They feed media scoops, official accounts, interviews with the experts. They make themselves crucial to the process of journalism. So those in power and those who report on them are in bed with each other. If you want to challenge power, you'll be pushed to the margins. Your name won't be down. You won't be getting in. You've lost your access. You've lost the story. When the media, journalists, whistleblowers, sources, stray away from the consensus, they get flat. That's the fourth filter. When the story is inconvenient for the powers that be, you'll see the flak machine in action, discrediting sources, trashing stories, and diverting the conversation. To manufacture consent, you need an enemy, a target. That common enemy is the fifth filter. Communism, terrorists, immigrants, a common enemy. A boogeyman to fear helps corral public opinion. 5 filters, one big media theory. Consent is being manufactured all around you, all the time.
Bitty boo. Bitty boo boo boo.
So I hope this was enjoyable for everyone, and you can kind of identify what kinds of propaganda techniques people use on you. This also explains a lot. So if there are certain big producers or interests that are giving money to the same media groups, they're reporting on the same thing. And so that could be why we're not seeing as much news about Ukraine that we would want to see. We need to encourage that. We also need to stay informed, not only of our side, but of the side of others, so that we can educate other people. We can also represent the interests of freedom and talk to our government officials and convince them that we need to support this effort. So I just encourage everyone to combat propaganda as much as possible and to recognize it. I hope you all have a good day and that you